Hi everyone, here we are again for my weekly Squiggly Career vlog. As you know, I have been reading this over the past few weeks, and today I'm going to be talking about the chapter on confidence. Now, I'll be honest, this is yet another chapter where I've spent quite a lot of time reflecting and thinking about the activities in there, and I know that I'm going to need to revisit it again at a later date. I think there's a really good activity that starts you to think about what are your confidence gremlins, what are the things that hold you back, and how do they hold you back. Now, actually, when I'd spent the time on that, I've almost not got the headspace to start thinking about some of the other activities. So really recommend definitely putting some time aside to go back to these chapters rather than feeling that you've got to box them off all in one go. So going back to talking about confidence, confidence in the chapter is talked about that belief in self. It's about the ability to recognise your successes. It's about being able to trust in your abilities and be resilient to bouncing back as well. When you're confident, other people trust and believe in you too, which I thought was particularly powerful and something to think about. And when we think that other people are confident, actually, it might be that we're just seeing them at a time where they're at their best or where they've prepared for something really well and spent a lot of time and energy on it. So something to think about there. Most people do value confidence as a positive attribute, and a lot of people have to work on it as well. So although it may come more naturally to some people over others, that doesn't mean that a natural confidence makes you confident in every situation. So again, it might be that that natural confidence has to be worked on in some situations. So Sarah and Helen talk about confidence helping your career in 3 ways. Firstly, because it develops resilience. The person who can talk about bouncing back, stretching themselves, being out of their comfort zone, holds people's interest. It also enables us to take action. So, it's all very well self-reflecting, being self-aware, but confidence enables us to do something with those reflections and that self-awareness, grabbing that pole vault and flinging ourselves over that cliff edge into our growth zone from our comfort zone. And finally, it inspires belief, because confidence significantly influences people's perception of how competent you are. There are also a few myths busted around confidence in this chapter. The first one being that introverts are shy, extroverts are confident. So a good reminder there that actually introvert, extrovert is about where we get our energy from. It's about what recharges us. So actually anyone can be confident. Introverts are not necessarily lacking in confidence, as extroverts are not necessarily loaded with confidence. The second one on there is about the confusion with confidence and arrogance. And I've definitely come across that a lot of times in my career and also school life before that worry of that fine line. But the bit I really like in the book around this myth is actually, if you're worrying about your confidence coming across as arrogance, it's pretty sure that that's not going to happen because you're worried about it. So that level of self-awareness there is going to prevent you from being arrogant. And then the third one is around being born with confidence, and I've referred to that already. So just the myth there that, yeah, some people will have it naturally, but they still lack it in some situations. So not necessarily born with confidence. The book chapter is then broken down into 3 sections around understanding and caging your gremlins. Now, I mentioned gremlins at the beginning. Gremlins are actually the things that are holding you back, the limiting beliefs that we can have for ourselves. What I really like about this part of the book is that we're encouraged to draw those gremlins. Now, I am not much of an artist, so it wasn't my favourite thing to do, but looking back, filling the page with my thoughts and my gremlins and the things that influence me and my confidence has definitely freed them in a different way and given me a different way to think about them. And I'll be able to go back to it. And I'm certainly seeing that I'm now more aware of when those things are holding me back already. So not just discovering the gremlins, thinking about how they hold you back, thinking what your triggers are for those gremlins, having some exploration of how you can test the gremlins, maybe that safe environment where you can do something to overcome that gremlin, and then encouraging some reward and recognition of your progress with that gremlin as well. I am not there yet. I'm very much at the point of starting to discover them, thinking about how they hold me back, and also thinking, what are my triggers? The key thing here is to overcome our gremlins, not avoid them. And they may be things that have been in our heads for a long, long time. If you're struggling to think what your confidence gremlin is, it can be worth asking yourself, what are you afraid of? And then why? 3 times. So if you're afraid of presenting, why? I'm afraid I'm going to say something stupid. Why are you frightened of saying something stupid? Because I want people to think that I know what I'm talking about. I want to be able to prove myself in what I do, for people to think that I'm competent. And that would drill down to, well, actually, why are we bothered about that? Or perhaps that's about imposter syndrome. Maybe that's about that lack of self-belief in self. So that can really help with that. Recognising and reflecting on successes gives you an opportunity to think about some things that you have achieved. And then there's also a piece around evaluating and building your support system. And in the book, your support system is referred to as a solar support system. So thinking about who do you give support to, also who do you get support back from. What I'm finding useful with that at the minute is to think, how much am I getting back versus giving? What can I be getting when I'm supporting people? Even if it's just that check-in of, how's today been useful for you? What outcome would you like today? What have you found most useful about the conversation? Some of those questions to other people could help with my confidence, but also they'll help me have an outcome for something that I see as supporting someone else. It's also made me think about, who do I use as that support network? Is it just my team? Have I got people outside of the team? Have I got the people who are challenging me as well as supporting me? So again, a bit more work to do on that in terms of that reflection and building and those actions. It ends on top tips. So the chapter ends with tips around confidence, around body language, around watching your words, thinking what you say, maybe more often than not, and also about practicing. The biggest thing I got from that section was about watching yourself back on video, interestingly enough, and watching it without the sound to look at your body language, and then watching it again with just the sound to think about, what are you saying, how are you sounding. So that's certainly something I'm going to think about going forward. I know quite a lot of you were looking forward to hearing the confidence chapter. Rest assured that I think every one of us struggles with it at some point, and we certainly have those confidence gremlins that we need to overcome. Hope you've enjoyed my vlog today, and I will see you soon.